Well, guys, looks like we've got a recoupling coming up tonight. That's what my money's on anyway. I think that's why they're all going to sit around the fire pit and they've got to choose their respective partners. How do you think it's going to go? I'll give you my tips. I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. Who's going to couple with who? Are we ready? See if you agree with these. Let's just reel them off. Before I forget, let's not forget this amazing piece of editing from last night's episode. How dramatic was this? Here comes Scott's head moves onto pillow, combined with the music. Wow. Here comes Lachlan with Whitney, of course. Ty with Ella, of course. Zach with, I wonder, Molly. Sammy with Jess, yep. Montel with Leah, definitely. Ellen with Catherine. Uzi, I think, will go for Katie, especially following their conversation last night and in previous episodes where they seem to be getting closer. And then we have Mitch and Scott. This is potentially the most dramatic moment of the evening, right? Because we saw Scott suddenly getting very interested in Abby yesterday. Egged on, of course, by Ty.
Never crossed the line with it.
I just want you to do what's good for you, bro. Go home with zero regrets. Just go test the waters.
Yeah, that's true. I can do that.
Come on, but your Riz is good enough to test waters.
I don't know how interested she is in Mitch. Like.
Do you want to go and talk?
I was locked in there.
Yeah, come. Let's go.
Where should we sit? Should we go to the fire pit? It's going to be really hot.
Fire pit, yeah. Do you want to?
Bake
in the sun.
And as Scott charmed Abby, Mitch looked on, with eyes that if they could speak would say, I'm just about to get my double-barreled shotgun and start loading it. It didn't look good, did it? Let's be honest. I think Scott has seen an avenue here. He's well aware that he has to be coupled up to someone, and maybe this is Scott being, a bit of a villain. Maybe he's decided, well, people are going to remember me in this program for the guy who stole Mitch's girlfriend, because he must know, or have some awareness, that there's a lot of affection for Mitch, despite Mitch's weird and crazy ways. I also think maybe Ty was a bit naughty, because maybe he's kind of surreptitiously or vicariously getting revenge on Mitch for him being the guy who gossiped behind all the boys' backs by encouraging Scott to go for his girlfriend.
Don't want to upset the boys. I've never been that guy to break lads' code ever. And I've had all day to think about it. It's been online 24/7. It's like, I don't want to be that guy that does you dirty to upgrade myself. I've always been against it. And looking at the movie night last night, it sucked.
But of course, they can't both go for the same girl. So I think it's possible if Scott gets to choose first. I don't know how they're going to do it tonight. I think if Scott gets to choose before Mitch, then Scott will take Abby, right? And it's possible, even if the girls are choosing, that Abby may go for Scott. You never know. She seemed very charmed by him last night. Which, of course, leaves Amber to go with either Mitch or Scott, depending on what happens. And we do know that whoever Amber goes with, it's going to be Mitch or Scott. They would be one of the weaker couples. Because I don't really think Amber's made much of an impact. And I don't think she's got much further to go in the show before she's dumped. So that's what it's looking like to me. I think we're getting down to that final stretch now. So there's definitely going to be some weak couples in there. They'll be voted off and dumped. We'll end up with maybe, 6 or 4, and then we'll be down to the final 3. Do you agree with me? Leave your comments below and let me know what you think. And I'm going to leave you with what Mal and Mehdi thought about Catherine and Scott's relationship. They got some good things to say, actually. So once again, the mystery deepens. Ah, the mystery. It's a big mystery. It'll end up being one of the world's great mysteries. Goodbye.
Catherine and Scott. Scott was raging. So Catherine came back with Ellen. Scott did not couple up with anybody, and he did have an option to couple up with Gabby, and he didn't. What are our thoughts on that?
Bless. Feels so bad.
For Scott?
Yeah.
Do you?
He really likes Catherine.
Yeah. Does so it is real, because I think
Yeah.
it's real, but obviously people were kicking off in the villa. Mehdi, you stayed fairly quiet on that one. Like, you never really spoke on Catherine and Scott when you were in there.
No, we were close.
Yeah.
The thing is, people questioned Scott's, feelings. I think they were real, but the fact that he expressed himself in the fire pit, at this point, he shot himself in the foot because he couldn't do anything on Casa Amor because, it would go Uno reverse cards,
Yeah.
So
Mehdi, you should be a producer.
That was.
I was.